to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being with me. It's amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question. What is hell? What is hell? Amazing question, right? What is it? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you are out there running, jogging, working out, lifting weights, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, fighting one another, trying to get revenge right now, and you just can't sit and watch the show, you could be listening to it on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad. And then once you're done fighting, once you think that you've gotten all the revenge you can get, you can podcast. You can definitely always podcast all the shows. We have, follow us on social media. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com. rebuildingtheman.com. So, for the new listeners, you might not be aware because you just maybe your first time listening or blah, blah, blah. I get several calls for Bible thumpers, Bible people. And sometime during the week, I just don't have time to spend as much time as they would like because they're not really wanting to know the right thing. They just want to quote scriptures. And so they can feel good in their fallen state. So we set aside, we take all calls, though, all calls. But we set aside Thursday, spend a little bit more time with the Bible thumpers, but we deal with all other issues. And so we spend a little bit more time trying to help the Bible thumper. The Bible thumper, even though they're not calling because they want to be helped or they want the right way, they want to call to prove that their ego is right about the word. They're into their intellect, and they're trying to prove that they know the word. And so we spend a little bit more time with the Bible thumpers. So every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
All right, brother. Are you ready? He's drunk as a badger. Go ahead. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
Oh, shana, na, na. Shana, the seat of that. Amazing. Bible Thumper Thursday. And there are two lines open right now. 888-7753-773. I think what I'll do, something I don't know if I normally do this on Thursday, but I got to go to Tashina out of New York. Tashina, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
All is well. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. I just have a question for you. So my husband wants to get a divorce, and I don't want that, and I just really don't know what to do. Like, should I mean, he seems like he's made up his mind. He's a listener of yours, and he's been, following everything, and he seems like he has peace, and I thought that I was doing it too, but I guess like I wasn't, because I still get so angry, and I still, I do all of the same things. So I mean, I guess I wasn't actually doing anything. And I'm still like getting emotional like I am right now, and I just like he doesn't believe me that I actually like want God, and like I want to be okay, and I don't like blame him for not believing me, but like, should I just give up?
Give up on what?
On the marriage. Should I just okay, I'll go along with the divorce, and not even the divorce yet. He just wants me to leave. In 2 weeks, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and we have a baby, and I don't really know. 2 weeks just seems short, but I mean, I don't really know. I could make something probably happen if I put my mind to it. I just I don't know, like, how to feel about it, I guess.
And your question for me is what?
Do I just, since he wants the divorce, do I just not try to convince him of anything and just agree to it?
And why would you even make one attempt to try to convince him to stay?
Well, because I don't think it's the right thing. I don't think getting a divorce is the right thing.
And what?
I know.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. You don't think it's the right thing?
Yeah, I don't think it's the right thing in this situation, because I'm willing. I'm like, I feel like when people are willing to like make an effort, like why not try to make it work?
And so you said that you are working on your life?
I thought that I was. He says I was pretending to, and I guess like that just means, even though I was doing the silent prayer every day, and I forgave my parents, and we watch you all the time, and I'm still like arguing a lot and fighting for no good reason, and I'm still having anger. So I haven't been doing it in a real way, but like I see that, and I'm really willing to, and it just seems too late. And I'm just wondering, like, do you think it's too late?
And why are you working on yourself?
Well, because I want to be good. I want to be. I don't want to be evil. I know that we live in a really evil world, and everyone's just really evil. And I have been my whole life. And and it's just caused me pain, and I don't want that anymore.
So you're working on your life because you are fed up with being evil?
Yeah. And I just feel it's too late, even though, like, I mean, it's not too late for me to work on myself,
Right.
but I mean, in the marriage, I feel like everything could be okay. I mean, no one cheated, like, no one did anything drastic.
And so if you're working on your life because you're tired of your hell, and if this man want to go, why not just say goodbye? Okay, see you later. He
Yeah,
has,
I know.
He has a right to want to leave, and you have a right to let him go, because your peace will come from God, not from some other person. And you're not supposed to try to make any kind of relationship work at all. Either it works on its own or it doesn't work. It's not your job to try to make it work.
No,
I'm sorry?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, it hasn't been working because I have been evil. So I think.
But both are evil. He's evil and you're evil.
He's not evil. He overcame being evil, and he said it was a mistake to ever marry me. And
if he's divorcing his wife and child, he has not overcome being evil. Because if he was truly free, he would know how to deal with his family.
I mean, I asked him to do a counseling with you, and I think he wants to just do one on his own.
But because your eyes should not be on him, it should be on you. And if this guy want to leave, you should say goodbye.
Yeah, but I understand. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and if he wants me to leave in 2 weeks, I should just try and respect his wishes.
Did you guys have a home together?
He had one, and when I moved in, but
you moved in with him?
We mutually agreed that I would stay at home with the baby. Like, I had a job and a car, and like I stopped working to stay with with my baby, and I've been really struggling, and you're right. I should be focusing only on myself and what I'm gonna do.
The fact that, and then again, I have to hear his side too, because I'm only hearing one side.
He's good. I have nothing bad to say about him.
No such thing as a good man.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Only God is
he's
good.
He's trying to be.
Right. He may be trying to understand that. He may be trying to overcome his hell, but you can't call him good. No man is good.
Oh, he loves what's good. He's trying. I'm.
Of course, it sounds like he is, and it sounds like you are too, right?
Yeah, I thought I was, but he thinks it's pretending, because I do still get angry at times, and the hell comes out of me. And he said I only identify with evil. That he's never seen me ever not identify with evil, and I honestly don't understand that, because I don't identify with evil all the time. Like, I'm doing things. I'm like playing with the baby. Like, I'm not identifying with evil. I don't know how I'm never not doing it.
But you're supposed to be working on you, not based on what he think about it at all.
Yeah.
Not based on what anyone think about it. Your mama, your daddy, your so-called friends, or coworker. It's not based on that. It's based on you're working on you because you're tired of living in hell. You're tired of the misery, the inner pain, conflict you have, the worries, and all that. And you want to overcome that, but it just shouldn't be based on anyone or anything outwardly. And so if he decide, and again, I have to hear both sides to make I can't take one side of this.
No, I know.
But
I know it's always two sides to a story.
Right. But the fact that you're crying because he's leaving is a sign that you have put him before God.
That's true. You're right.
And so this whole situation, amongst a lot of other understanding can come from it, you should look at that. Why am I crying because somebody don't want to be with me? Why have I put
Right.
him before God? If you're truly working on yourself, you'll learn from that and then take the ego pain so you can die from putting anyone before God, your husband, your kids, or anyone. And then things will start to open up for you. It will work, and it cannot go wrong because you're tearing down another layer of the false illusion you've been had with your husband. You have put him first, pretending to put God first.
Right. Because
Because
that's
if you
my
were,
only line to God.
that's not true.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
So with the ego death, I don't exactly understand it. I know I hear you say like you, it'll be clear when it happens, and I want to get there. I just don't really. I just
But
feel the pain.
you have a perfect opportunity to die from the ego, another layer of it, by seeing that you're crying and you're feeling pain because your husband has threatened to divorce, and that pain that you feel right now is not you, that's the ego. Those are not your thoughts, those are not your feelings. It's another layer of false identity that you got into when you thought, well, if I marry this man, all going to be well. I have someone to take care of me, I have a family, it'll be love, it'll be this. It was another lie you put yourself into. Now you have a chance to die from that by seeing that you have pain because this guy want to leave.
So just seeing that that's wrong, and knowing that it's wrong to be feeling pain about that will help the layer peel.
Absolutely. If you really see it,
Okay.
if you really see it and don't do anything about it, don't try to beg him to stay, don't do anything to hurt yourself, or don't start eating a bunch of food or getting drunk or anything. Just consciously watch that. It will be taken away from you, and then that will be worked out. God will step in and work something else out for you, and then there will be something else to see about yourself, because we all have a bunch of spirits in our mind and bodies that we have to overcome because we have identified with them all our lives, thinking that it's us. And that's what God meant when he said that in order to live, you must die. This thing has to die in you. And based on what you've said, your husband is giving you an opportunity to die from the ego death. And once you do, you will never put your faith in anyone else again. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't think to. You wouldn't feel you need to. And if you and your husband got back together, it'll be a totally different relationship. You can take it or leave it. You won't be dependent on it.
Right.
You won't try to get love from him or anything. You wouldn't worry about him not being able to take care of yourself. When you say you can only get through God through your husband, what do you mean by that?
Like, the way he explained it is like God gave me a husband because to help give me direction, because I don't really know what's best, and it's in the order that you talk about, like Christ and man, and then man to wife, like, and that's what I meant by that. And like,
oh, that's not what that mean though. It mean that don't resent your husband. Don't, when you see his weakness, or because you come from a screwed up family, a weak father, and you see the weakness in your husband, don't be angry. Don't resent him. See it, but don't resent it because it's not him. And when you don't resent your husband, then through him you can go to God. But if you have anger for your husband, as you did for your father, it's just going to keep you in hell. But
yeah, I have anger towards him.
Yeah. And God did not give you this husband, because if God had brought y'all together, there would be no thought or anything about breaking up. What God put together, nothing can tear it apart.
Well, when we got together, I don't think God was involved there.
I know he wasn't.
So,
Because if he was, ain't no way your husband would even consider leaving you, no matter how bad you are.
even though God's here now with him, like he,
And why do you think God is with him now?
because I just see a change and I see he has peace and he doesn't really get angry.
And so why doesn't he be patient with you? You're not talking about divorcing him, right?
No.
And you're
I
not
don't wanna-
you're not talking about taking his child away from him, preventing him
No.
to see, right?
No, I'm not.
And
I
so
wouldn't. I think she needs both of her parents.
And so
Wouldn't
he,
do that.
based on that, and again, I have to hear his side, but based on
Yeah.
that, he has no reason to leave you. Because if he's of God, he has the insight to deal with evil in the right way.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that.
I'm sorry?
That to circle back to your question, that's what I meant when I said I thought that I could know God like through my husband, because you say it about like through your father, which I forget. I hadn't talked to my dad in like maybe 7 years, and I went to forgive him, and it was really it was great, and I like realized how much I like missed my dad once it happened. It like all of the anger for my dad went away.
Right on. And the same way you should feel about your husband now, because whatever he's doing, he couldn't help himself, just like your father, your mother, you. And so just don't resent him. And if he want to leave, just say, okay, bye. He has the right to walk out of your life, and you have the right to let him back in or not.
Okay. Okay, that helps me. I appreciate it.
And if you don't want a divorce, you don't have to agree to the divorce. You don't have to sign the papers or whatever. Or if they force you to sign the paper, in your heart, you know you don't want the divorce, so you don't have to suffer the consequence of divorcing him. He will have to pay the price, suffer the consequence of divorcing you. You just be clear, hey, I don't want this divorce, but if you don't want to be with me, I understand. You have a right to say goodbye, and I don't have a right to be upset about it. I wish you well. Bye. And all the grief that might come as it was just now, be glad to see that. Rejoice in those moments, because you're going to see that the thoughts and the pain that you're having is not you. That's all ego. The real you don't feel anything about someone wanting or not wanting to be in your life. You don't feel anything about it. It's just to fate you.
Yeah, I believe you, because I watch a lot of your stuff and I can just tell you're not bothered by things.
And you want either, if you let this false self just die, situations like that, outside situation can cause you to see what's going on inside of you, because if something inside of you is reacting to an outside situation, that means that there's another aspect of your ego that must die. And so be glad to see it, and don't be mad that his action is causing you to see something else inside of you. It's not his fault. It's that you're feeling that way. You were already that way when he met you. Just be glad to see it and watch it. Stay with the silent prayer. Don't be mad at him. Whether he's right or wrong, that's on him. And you just watch the ego, and don't worry about where you're going to live or anything like that. You'll find a place. All that will take care of itself.
Okay. Okay.
And again, stop identifying with the pain. You are not the pain. The lonely pain, the worried pain, the sad pain, the anger pain, the whatever pain. Stop identifying with it so you can be free.
Okay. Thank you.
And so again, even in your weakest moment, in your fear and trembling. If you want to leave, just say, okay. Even though you might not mean it, the words don't feel real, you still say, okay, bye. And God is with you. He would kill, he would destroy this false self because now you're feeling it. The devil is roaming in your body and mind, trying to hold on to dear life. And he wants you to think it's you. And he wants you to beg this man to stay. Please, baby, please, baby, please, baby, please, baby, please don't go. I don't want to go. What about our child? What about this? Those are just spirits, demons.
I was already doing that a little.
But never beg anyone to stay in your life. People have a right to go, and you have a right to say goodbye.
Okay.
Never can say goodbye. No, 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 nah. I never can say goodbye. I keep thinking that tomorrow things are going to be right. It's not going to be right.
Okay. I understand what to do. Thank you.
So before you go, anything I've said that you disagree with or is not clear or anything?
No. I disagree with nothing you've said.
And again, are you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
I am.
Okay, stay with that. Watch those thoughts. Tremble in your boots and know that it's not you. And stay present with the tremble. Don't run away from the tremble. Don't run away from the fear. Don't run away from the doubt. But don't call it you.
Yeah, I'm a runner of those things. I do run away from them. So
all people run away from the pain and the conflict inside because they think it's them. And they don't know being still and seeing it, watching it is what's going to cause them to overcome it. They run away from it only to have to suffer for another day.
Yeah, that's true. And you never know when that day is going to just happen, and you're reminded of something again, and it's like I thought I faced that, but then obviously I didn't, because here it is again. And really, I just put it out of my mind, and that's what I've been doing. Since just in finding you, I've been thinking, oh, I'm watching those things, like that's not me, and then just not sitting with it, and trembling, like you said. I never do that, so that's helpful.
And that's what God meant when He said, "Come as you are, weary, worried, afraid, trembling, and shaking in your boots. Come as you are, and I got you." And it is in those moments that He's saving you from the not you. Some people think He meant, I remember when I was young and people say, God said, come as you are. They mean like if you don't have a suit to wear, you can come in your jeans or whatever to church, right? And
I thought that too about church, yeah.
I always thought that. I thought it meant if you're already dressed up, don't worry about the other people that dressed up. You still come to church. But He meant come in your fear and trembling on the inside. Don't you try to do anything about it. He will say He's trying to save you from the not you, from that. You don't have to be already spiritual to come to God. You come non-spiritual, and He got you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Thank you. No, I probably have a million questions. I can't think of one at the moment though.
Right. How are you feeling right now?
I feel like I am going to be okay.
You are. Hold on 1 minute. Let me take a quick break.
Oh.
888-775-3773. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Okay, welcome back. It's Bible Thumper Thursday, 888-7753-773. Let me go quickly back to Tashina out of New York, and Tashina said her husband wanted to divorce her. Tashina.
Hey, I'm here.
Thank you for holding.
Yep.
In closing, I want you to know, and this is the truth, that your only problem you have is that you believe thoughts and feelings. If you start to see that you're not your thoughts, all thoughts about anything is a lie, and stop identifying with the thoughts and feelings, then you'll be free. But you got to see it. And when you see it, you got to stay watchful when thoughts come and feelings come, and you got to... And eventually you'll start catching them really fast, and then you'll catch them where before they can even make you feel anything, because you can't feel anything unless you have the thoughts first. And so, but just be patient. You'll grow into that. The more you watch the thoughts, the more you're going to catch them. And it's not you, it's the light of God in you. And you'll be fine, but you got to stop identifying with thoughts about anything. The intellect, it's just a place where we gather knowledge, but we're not supposed to hold on or live by that knowledge at all. You let it go so wisdom can replace the intellect.
Okay. What do you mean by let the intellect go?
Like when you, like the conversation we just had, right?
Right.
It came as knowledge. And if you just don't hold on to that, meaning don't try to remember it, don't go out teaching it, don't use it to live by, then just let it go in one ear and out the other one, then wisdom will come, and the wisdom will make you free. It will happen on its own.
Okay. But one more thing, like this thing with, I'm not supposed to like believe any thoughts, but like I'm actually last night I couldn't sleep because I was just worried about where I'm gonna live and like what I'm gonna do for money and things like that. And like I thought like, well, these are true things, so like how are they lies? Like because it is true, I have to figure that stuff out. Like, is it because that was the wrong time to be thinking about them? Like, and
who was worried?
Well, I identified with it, so I'll say me because I was identifying with the worry.
Right. So you identify with the devil calling him you. What good did it do you to lay in bed all night thinking about something when you for tomorrow when you were doing fine that night? You were in bed, you had a roof over your head, all was well. Why would you lay there and believe that you need to be worried about something for the next day when you have all you need right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I because I was believing that I was worried. I was
Absolutely.
believing it was true.
Once again, you identify with evil, calling it you.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
God said, take no thought about those things. He'll take care of you. And that was the devil had, he was laying there with you telling you, oh my God, where you going to live? You have no money. What you going to do? And you're like, you're right, God. What am I going to do? Let me lay here with you and just worry all night.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You're right.
And then you woke up the next day. Oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
And then the devil like, worry some more.
Yeah.
The devil like, remember, you got to worry about what you're going to live, where you're going to go.
Yeah.
All those things you got to let pass and stop identifying with. Those are egos. Spirits, those are wicked. Those are not from you and they're not from God. God would never make you worry about anything. When he said take no thought, he's not going to change his mind and say, okay, you need to worry about this.
Yeah. It is that simple, and I complicate it. I have been complicating it.
Right, because you listen to thought thinking that they're yours.
Yep.
All right, so I got to run, but
All right. Thank you so much.
You know how to get me if you need to. So stay with the prayer. Don't be mad at your husband if he want to leave, and don't call him good or bad. You can just make it clear, I don't want a divorce, but if that's what you want, I understand. You can go and do it. Even if you're not feeling that way, you still say it so you don't identify with the fear. And then don't call the fear you. And just stay calm. And I guarantee you things are going to work out just fine. Whatever way, I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I do know if you don't overreact to the ego feelings and thoughts and feelings, you'll be fine. It'll work out.
Okay, thank you.
And don't put your husband above you or below you. You are an individual. Your soul needs to be worked out. So you just work on you. And if he's working on himself, that's amazing too. But you keep your eyes on you and let him work on himself. We can't save anyone. We can't even save ourselves. So how can we save someone else? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I wish you well.
Okay, thank you. I wish you well.
Thank you. Amazing. Bye now. 888-7753-773. Derek is a first-time caller out of Nebraska. Derek, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Derek.
Happy Leap Year Day.
Oh, that's happening today, huh?
Yes, sir.
And so leap year, what does that mean exactly?
Well, it's the 29th day of February. For some reason, whatever man or institution has created our calendars. Because normally February has 28 days.
Right.
So,
and so
anomaly.
That's all it means, that it has one extra day, and that's what makes it a leap year?
Yep, apparently. Like ketchup. Say what?
What the?
Right.
At least, isn't like February something called Black History Month or something like that?
Oh, it is. So it's an extra.
So they get an extra day.
Blessing for blacks. Yep.
They get an extra day to focus on their blackness.
Yep.
They get an extra day to focus on black excellence. Amazing.
Well, I've been.
CNN said if we didn't do it, eventually it would be summer in December in the northern hemisphere. That's according to CNN.
Yeah, they're clown news network.
Yeah, but go ahead, Darren. You call about something else.
Okay, so I've been listening to you for maybe a month and a half.
Uh-huh.
And so today's Bible thumper, and I have.
Are you a
noticed
Bible
that
thumper?
Well, I might be. I've read it, I've studied it, but I'm getting away from it and just going to the spirit of it.
How are you doing
and
that?
So just letting everything go.
Meaning what?
Meaning interpretation, my ego. I've forgiven my mother, forgiven my father.
Amazing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so one thing that I've noticed when you talk, and there was one conversation, I can't remember what day, I don't keep track of these, but someone was saying that Jesus was God, and you said, no, he's a son. But then I noticed that you use verses that Jesus spoke, and you say it's God. So, yeah.
I use verses that Jesus spoke, and I say it's God. What do you mean?
Well, the one that came to mind this morning was Matthew 11, when Jesus, I'm assuming it was Jesus, he said, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. I'm meek and lonely in heart, and you shall find rest unto your soul, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:29-30. But I've heard you say that's God.
I said that's
So
God speaking?
Yes, sir.
Oh, but didn't Jesus only speak, or Jesus spoke what the Father told him?
Yes, sir.
So God was speaking through the Father speaking through the Son, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. And you disagree with that?
No, I totally agree with it.
Oh, so I don't understand the point you're making there.
Well, you're kind of giving someone hell or giving them trouble about saying because, well, apparently, it was a person that called you, and they were like adamant that Jesus was God, and so maybe that's the point, is that it was just for them specifically.
Do you believe
that he
Jesus
wasn't
is
God?
God?
He was the Son.
You believe Jesus is God?
He's a son of God.
Do you believe Jesus is God?
No.
You don't sound too certain there.
He's from the God realm.
Do you believe Jesus is God?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
And what do you mean by he's from the God realm?
Well, there's different levels.
Of what?
There's God, God, angels, man.
What?
Is there not?
So when you say there are different, so I don't understand the point you're making.
I'm not making any point. I'm just asking for clarity about what I thought you were making a point.
What? Okay.
So let me ask you this then. So when you refer to verses in the Bible, you can use God and Jesus interchangeably then. You do?
I don't know what that means. I'm not thinking any of those things when I'm speaking those things.
Okay. So you're not thinking when you speak.
I'm not thinking those things for sure. So, but, and to be clear there, so that this conversation can make sense, so you don't believe, did you believe Jesus was God at one point? Derek?
Not God the Father.
You thought he was God the what?
He's God the Son.
Why did you think he was God the Son?
Because the Bible says so.
Where?
Okay. Now I
in
have to
the Bible we are told. Where's
right?
that God the Son? Where is that in the Bible?
This is my son. Today I have begotten you.
And so where
maybe
is
John is that in John's gospel? I can
where
look
in
it
the
up.
Bible
Since
does
it's
it say
since it's
God
Bible
the
thumper?
Where in the Bible does it say God the Son?
Maybe it doesn't say that specifically.
And so where did you get that from then? Why do you believe that?
Well, let me look here real quick. It's not in John's gospel? This is Bible Thumper Thursday, right?
Right. 888, there's a line open for 888-7753-773. Because of time, where in the Bible does it say God the Son?
Well, John said, John chapter 1, John said, and I saw and bear record that this is the Son of God.
The Son
This
of
is the
God.
King James.
But where does it say God the Son?
Say again?
Well, how did you put that? I forgot how you said it. God the Son?
No, this is the Gospel of John.
No, where
Chapter
in the
1.
Bible does it say God the Son?
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know that. It just says the Son of God.
And so,
John
why are
said-
you saying God the Son?
Oh, I'm just repeating what John
You're not. John never said that.
the baptizer?
John never said that. God the Son.
No, he said the Son.
And so why are you calling Jesus God the Son?
I'm not calling him God the Son. I'm saying he's the Son of God is what the Bible says.
No, you
This
said
is Bible
God
Thumper
the
Thursday, right?
You said God the Son. You just said it. You go to church?
No,
Oh.
I have years ago.
And so why are you, because of time, Derek, then I got to run. Why do you say God the Son? I want to know why you say it. For your own sake, I want to know where'd you get that from? Why do you say it?
Well, that one verse is one reference. But
That didn't say what you said at all. They said he was the Son of God. You said God the Son.
So, okay. Well, so there isn't a verse that says God the Father?
Derek,
Really?
why do
Okay.
you say, no, I said, Derek, I didn't answer that. Why do you say God the Son? Where'd you pick that up at?
That verse I just mentioned.
That verse doesn't say that, though.
It says Son of God.
Right, but you said God the Son.
Oh, yeah.
Are you black?
Yep, I did. No.
But why you say God the
But
Son?
I'm slow. White and slow.
You're dyslexic?
Possibly. And a Gemini.
Nice.
Right?
That's right. But listen, I gotta run. Stay with you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes.
Stay with that. Watch those thoughts. Stop identifying with them, and you will have a clear mind, and the truth will be revealed to you.
Amen.
All right. Thank you, Derek. Call me again.
Thank you. I will.
All right, buddy. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Super chat. Super.
Superchats.
Maverick Angel gave a Ninjagini yesterday late in the show saying, love means you never have to say you're sorry.
Love me never having to say I'm sorry.
It's by the Letterman. The Lettermen.
Right. Thank you.
He says, thank you, Jesse. You're amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Maverick Angel,
Yeah,
for the
thank you.
Ninjagini.
Amazing.
Stefan gave a cash app saying, all our problems come from fear, doubt, and worry.
Amazing. Thank you.
Hannes O'Callaghan is now a member. God bless you, Jesse. Amazing work, crew. Happy Manhood Hour. This is yesterday.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
A monthly supporter on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk.
Right on.
Aries Sun.
Thank you very much.
Coffee from Aries' son Daniel, 12 verse 3, King James Version. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
Amen.
Nice. Thank you,
Forever
Aries' son.
and ever. Amen. Forever and ever. Amen.
That's pretty cool.
What?
They that turn many to righteousness as the, they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, meaning the atmosphere.
Right.
And they that, the daytime, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
Amen.
Nice.
Let me see that.
Oh, yeah. That's the firmament.
This is the firmament.
That plastic dome thing is the firmament.
This is the firmament.
It's what makes the sky so blue and bright
Nice.
in the daytime. Beautiful.
Amen. Forever and ever. Amen.
Danny Moore bought a coffee. All
Thank
right,
you.
Jesse and the lads, what do you lot think is better to live in a country that forces you to live in a quote-unquote morally right way, or a country that allows you to live immoral, quote-unquote? Example, abortions, etc. P.S. James, did they use you for the picture of Jesus on the breaks in Jesse's show? Laughing face emoji with tears coming out. The silent prayer thing. That's not me. Thank you, Danny.
That one for rebuildingtheman.com/prayer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you see the resemblance?
Let me see. The prayer thing. Oh, it does look like you.
And then here's
Older
me.
you, but you.
And then here's me.
Hake. Amazing.
Pretty funny. Oh, yeah,
Thank
I do
you.
have a beard. I forgot about
Yeah, a red beard like that.
that. It looks brown-haired. But anyway,
Maybe
thank you, Danny
brown.
Moore. But
Thank you, Danny.
to answer your question,
About
which is
what?
better, to live in a country that forces morality or that allows immorality, abortions, etc.?
To live in a country that's not forced morality or immorality.
Nice.
Because you can't force a person to be moral, and you can't force a person to be immoral. They want it, one way or the other. But thank you. I like that question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Almost like a Bible question.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
Rebecca bought our coffee. Jesse, I know you speak on homeschooling. Why is the best choice? This is a long one, and we may have to hold it over.
Yeah, let me take a break.
'Kay.
Don't forget where you stop. I got to take, thank you all. Appreciate it. Amazing. Let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Hake is coming in with the hate news. I'll be back in a moment. To control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Happy leap year, everybody. Texas wildfires kind of out of control, I think. And the presidential immunity case is going to be in the Supreme Court, going to be heard. This is the end of hour one of Bible Thumper Thursday, February 29th, AD 2024. There is one line open. You can call in right now. Call in during Hake News, not fake news, so you can get on hold to get on air with JLP in the new hour coming up. Commie Nonsense Network CNN says today is February 29th, a leap day that occurs every 4 years to keep our calendar in sync with the seasons. Without those extra days, the summer we generally experience in June, July, August would eventually arrive in December after several centuries and then go back eventually back to June. Or I think a real year is 365 and a quarter days. Nice. Texas fires update. CNN says a sudden shift in the wind direction in the Texas Panhandle this week contributed to the, that's a poor area of Texas, by the way, contributed to a explosion in size of the smokehouse. Oh, explosion in size. So it greatly grew in size. The Smokehouse Creek wildfire, which has burned at least 850,000 acres in Tejas, Texas, and another 31,000 acres in Oklahoma. Wow. It's now the second largest fire in Texas state history, exceeding the size of Rhode Island. Wow. Shout out to Rhode Island. The blaze has burned dozens of structures, killed at least one person since igniting on Monday. It's still just 3% contained, according to State Forest Services. This is as of early this morning, CNN. Calmer winds helped firefighters' efforts on yesterday, but forecasts show poor weather conditions could ramp up Friday and fan the flames, literally, over the weekend. Presidential immunity to be considered in the Supreme Court. CNN and the far-left female-run outlet The Skim report on their commie nonsense stuff. Yesterday, the so-called Supreme Court decided they'll weigh in on the consequential case involving President Trump. Presidential immunity, whether Trump is immune, shielded from federal, criminal prosecution on charges. They can still bring him on charges in the states. On the special counsel Jack Smith's 2020 election interference case, right? Out of the 4 criminal cases against Trump, ridiculous. Many consider Jack Smith's to be one of the most serious legal challenges. He's white to threaten the Trump campaign. Yes, it is. Trump's maintained he can't be prosecuted for what he did in office. Earlier this month, he asked the so-called quote-unquote Supreme Court to step in and after a lower court ruled that he didn't have immunity and had to stand trial. Scheduled arguments for the week of April 22nd. Decision expected by late June. If they don't side with Trump, the trial could overlap with the Republican National Convention, RNC, or the November election. If they side with Trump, the Injustice Department charges would be dismissed. What are you doing? You're walking in front of my... Well, okay, that's fine. Sorry. The High Court is... Oh, okay. Also expected to decide whether Trump can remain on Colorado's primary ballot. Just yesterday, Illinois became the 3rd state to boot Trump from their primary ballot, citing his role in the January 6th insurrection. Trump's expected to appeal the Illinois ruling. It's on hold for now. Blah, blah, blah. It's a whole bunch of mess. The devils are having a fit, right? For the second time this year, the quote-unquote conservative majority on the Supreme Court, with 3 Trump appointees, all rhinos, will hear arguments in a case involving Trump. Could set precedent, sweeping implications for the presidencies and future elections. Developing in the GOP yesterday, Senate Minority Majority Leader, whatever it is, Senate Republican Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican from Kentucky, said he'd step down as GOP Senate Leader in November, but he plans to serve the rest of his term as senator until 2027. Keep in mind, we're in 2024. You think he has 3 more years in him? As much as he's freezing up, we wish him well. His announcement kicked off the race for his replacement. On the list, 3 Johns: John Thune, John Cornyn, and John Barrasso. Hadn't heard of that third one. I'm James Hake. Now back to the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Hour 2.
stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. Let me just check. Is it working now? Everything's working now? Thank you, Sharon. My biblical question is, what is hell? What is hell? That's the biblical question for this week. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, not able to watch it live, the show here, you can podcast. You can also be listening live anywhere in the world by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And follow us on social media, ring the bell, and what else? Subscribe. Y'all know what to do, right? Also, to donate, we are on JesseLeePeterson.com. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on X and everywhere else. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App on Cash App there. It's Thursday. It's the second hour of Thursday show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Turn around and look at these people. What?
From the Lord. I got what I wanted from the Lord. I'll go back to Washington. Oh, yes, I will. I'm a Southern Baptist. They don't believe in tongues, but God said it. I want it.
Party over here. Amazing Bible Thumper Thursday. Let me go to Matthew, our first time call out of Wisconsin. Matthew, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Amazing.
I loved you on YMH Studios podcast.
I'm sorry? Oh, thank you.
I thought that was so funny. My question. Can you still hear me?
Loud and clear.
Are we allowed to think that we could be part of Jesus coming back?
Are we allowed to think? I don't know what that means.
Like, can we take the role of like helping other people and feel like we're doing what whatever he would want us to be doing? Or as a collective, if enough people do that, could that be interpreted as Jesus is back?
You're not allowed to think and take the role of Jesus at all, because if you tried to think and take on the role as Jesus, it would just be a thought. It would be thinking, but it would have nothing to do with Jesus.
Okay.
And that's why God said to overcome all thoughts are all lies all the time.
Okay. Okay.
You got to overcome that.
Let it go and surrender it to a higher power.
Because thinking about Jesus and thinking about God and thinking about this or that, then it's just thoughts. It has nothing to do with it. Was just you're still fellowshipping with the devil. You're fellowshipping with the ego.
Okay.
So whenever you think that
it feels like it's coming from a good place, but that's still ego and the devil.
Yeah, because coming from a good place has no feelings. You only get feelings from thoughts, which is a dark place. You think and you feel. You think that you're a Christian, you feel like a Christian. You think that you're saved and you feel like you're saved. You think you're not saved and you feel like you're not saved. It's just all thoughts. God said, bring every thought into captivity.
Okay. So how do we act then if we can't use thoughts or feelings?
How do you act about what?
Life.
I'm sorry?
How do you act and how do you pursue a proper path if we can't interpret our thoughts or feelings?
How do you pursue a proper path, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, by seeing that you're on the wrong path.
No matter what, we can't be on the true right path.
You can't make it happen, period. The only thing you can do is see that you're on the wrong path, that you're in hell, and seeing that you're in hell would cause you to overcome the hell that you're naturally, as hell is disappearing, because hell is an illusion, and as it is disappearing, you will be on the right path, nothing left but the right path. But you got to see that you're in hell first.
Okay.
And anyone that has anger, fear, doubt, emotions, any emotions, so-called good emotions or bad emotions, anyone that has those things are in hell.
Well, I'm trying to climb out then.
And the way you climb out, you're right. And the way you climb out is to see that you're in hell. Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Yes.
And how did that go?
Good. You know, I've always loved her so much and everything, but yeah, there's been things that I just had to absolutely let go of.
And when you went and told her you forgive her, what did she say?
She cried and gave me a hug.
And
she apologized.
Well, nice. And when you forgave your father for not protecting you from her?
Still working on that.
On what?
On forgiving my father.
And why haven't you done that already?
I'd like to. I guess I'm not sure how to go about it.
Dad, I'm sorry for resenting you for not protecting me from my mother. Or why didn't you protect me from my mother? Why did you let her do that to me?
Yeah, feminized, in a way kind of thing.
What did you say to your mother when you went to her?
I just was like, for all of the terrible behavior I've been involved in and blamed you for, whatever, I clear slate. I want us to just reset kind of a thing.
What did you say to your mother? I'm sorry.
I love you, and you could never have done anything wrong to me.
What the? So you haven't forgiven your mother, and you don't love her. No wonder she cried and gave you a hug.
How do I forgive her truly then? And God, okay, but then that's a feeling, I guess, Right. You don't love your mother. You hate your mother. That's why you're afraid to be honest with her. You don't want to hurt her feelings. You're so identified with her, you feel her pain before you even deal with her. So what's a proper way to do it?
To get to know yourself, see what's going on inside of you, see that anger inside of you, and when you see it to yourself, you don't have to tell the world if you don't want. Admit that you have that anger, and God would allow you to see it came from your mother. You've been recreated in your mother's image. She turned you away from your father, and made you identify with her. That's why you think you love her and you don't love her. That's why you couldn't be honest with her. You don't need to rekindle a relationship with your mother. You want to overcome her.
So how do we know if we love somebody, even if the feeling of love isn't real?
Because the feeling, when you see that you are angry at her, you would know that you hate her and that you don't love her. And the feeling of love is just hate. It's not love. And that's what the devil does. He pretends to be God. So he knows that God's love is a dispassionate love. There is no feeling in love, real love, right? And so he's pretending to be God. So he can't totally imitate God. So he pretends to by giving you a fake feeling of love. And then when that is runs out or something happens, now you feel hate. Then you feel love, and then you feel hate, and then you feel love. That's the nature of evil. After a while, you want to jump off a bridge somewhere.
So
your mother has. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
To understand true love, there's no feeling. Do we have to process it logically and then just understand that this is love?
No, you have to just see you have hate, and then love will come, because it would be love that is allowing you to see that you have this hate. You call it anger, but it's still hate. And once you can see that, love takes over, and you would come to know love.
So what is that like? Because I can't say what does that feel like, or what do you think that's like? So what is that? What is love?
It has no feelings.
How would one know if you have true love?
By overcoming anger.
So it's a lack of anger is what love is.
You will come to know what real love is when you overcome the false love, which is anger, which is hatred, which separate you from God. Why do you resent your father?
I don't know if I do. I guess it's just that I'm so much like him.
In what way?
Partying, drinking, wild guy kind of stuff. And, but like I have an extreme amount of respect, and we do get along well, but there is just it's almost like resentment for bringing me into the world.
You resent him for bringing you into the world?
No, I guess that's not what I mean, but I don't know. I'm trying to piece this together. I can't believe I even got on here. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. And have you told him you resent him for bringing you into the world, that you're just like him?
No, because I don't think I believe that. I think that I misspoke there.
Oh, well, how old are you?
31.
And so why are you angry at your father?
Because I didn't turn out how I want to be for him.
What do you mean?
Like I want to be better and more productive than, I want him to be able to brag about me to everybody instead of have to explain, why I'm not doing as well as I should be.
So your father has to explain to others why you're not doing as well as you should?
If they ask about me. We operate on a farm, and he's kind of a big deal, whatever, in the farming community. But, I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together, too.
So when your father, and don't say which form or his last name or anything, but someone asks your father about you, Matthew, he has to explain, well, he's doing all right. He's a drunk, but
yeah, exactly.
He's a little bum. He ain't no good, but he's all right.
Right, yeah, and everybody else around town is talking, that loser, yeah. That's exactly right.
And you don't want to be that way?
No, and I'm taking steps to, try and get on the right path, but then...
And why are you that way?
Why am I what way?
That way. A bum.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'm trying to answer it correctly, but I don't know the correct... coding and my code, my genetics, or and terrible decision making, addiction, I guess.
You live with your mother?
No, I live on one of the farms.
Oh, and
With my
so
girlfriend, and I've got a 2-year-old. So
you have a girlfriend and a 2-year-old,
Yep.
and you a bum?
Yeah,
How are you able to take care of them?
functioning, I guess.
You're a functioning
Functioning
bum.
bum.
Yeah.
I get, yeah. I mean, I get the to-do list checked off, but I could add so much to the list.
And so, does your mother see you as a bum as well?
No, she has coddled me too much, I think, maybe.
And is she proud of you as a bum?
No, she's proud of me trying to not be a bum.
You say your mother's proud of you?
Proud of me in attempting to get my life together.
And how do you know that?
She says it.
Oh, but your father's not proud of you trying to get your life together?
He is, but he is a man of very few words, so he prefers to just not talk,
Oh, I see.
He would like get a new piece of equipment or something and be like, "Hey, you want to play around in that toy?" Like, after an extended period of me doing well.
What mistakes did your mother make with you while raising you?
I think just telling me I could do anything I ever wanted.
And what else?
I guess I'm not sure.
What did she do, and even now that's kind of irritate you? You wish you would stop, or wish you wouldn't do, but she keep doing it. What is that?
That I do?
That she does.
Oh, tell me I should go back to school.
And did you tell her to back off from telling you that?
Oh, yeah.
But she does it anyway?
Hints at it now. Now she phrases it as, well, if you ever wanted to, I would help you.
And do you correct her when she does it?
Yes.
And forgive her for that. That's evil.
Okay.
And because of time, one little other thing that she would do that you wish she didn't do or have done.
Not focus on herself.
But focus on what?
She focuses on trying to help everybody else other than herself.
Well, tell her to stay out of your business.
Okay.
Is it hard to tell her to
as a family unit, though, how are we not a part of each other's business?
You're not supposed. You're a grown man. She shouldn't be a part of your business at all. Does your girlfriend obey you?
Yes.
Your girlfriend?
Yep.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Yep. For the most part, yeah.
Either she does or she doesn't.
Does.
And what do you mean by for the most part?
I mean, I think that nothing's perfect, and there's obviously, if I don't want a picture on the wall in that location, sometimes I got to be like, that's fine.
So she doesn't obey you.
Well, if selecting a wall hanging ornament that I couldn't care less about means that she's not obeying me, then
here's what Here's what I recommend for you, Matthew. I have a silent prayer at rebuildingaman.com/prayer.
Okay.
I recommend you start doing that so you can see what's going on inside of you with your thoughts and feelings and all that stuff. And when you see it, once you can truly see it, I promise you, if you stay with it, everything will start to change. You will see.
Right.
You will see what you do, to do, and I highly recommend that you have a good talk with your father about how you felt growing up and how you see him and how he sees you, and hear how he think about things. Have a conversation and forgive your mother for making you identify with her because you're just like your mama.
Yep, for sure.
She has recreated you in her image, and she is causing you to have a bad image of your father.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I agree. I agree.
And
I think that it sounds worse than it is, what you're saying. You know what I mean?
And those are the things that you need to forgive your mother for, and you need to forgive your father because your father cannot handle your mother. Your mother is his mother. She's just like his mother, just like your girlfriend is just like your mother. And you're repeating the same cycle your father went through with your mother.
Yep.
So do the silent prayer. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Thank you. Yep, I will.
All right, buddy. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Eight 888-7753-773. One line open. Quick announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. TheHakeReport.com. From 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. The guy with the good hair. And after the Hake Report, Joel Friday TV, he black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Did y'all hear it yesterday? What the? You can podcast it. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. Energy given to him by God to fly planes. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. And then tomorrow, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, there is a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. The FallenState.tv. Very interesting talk with Janelle Marina Mendez Vieira. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I am literally one of the highest ranking inventors in United States history.
Amazing. According to your bio, you started an OnlyFans account where you post naked pictures of yourself.
That's how I paid for my inventions. So it is empowering.
To think of yourself as a powerful woman is an illusion.
I could care less what you think of me. If you have a lot of internalized misogyny and a lack of education, I'm extremely happy.
I know for a fact, inwardly, you're miserable. Very interesting conversation. And Janelle is a Marine Corps veteran. Can you imagine? Feminist and human rights activist. What the? That's tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific time. TheFallenState.tv. And you can support The Fallen State there by going to TheFallenState.tv/donate or locals.com in the descriptions there, all right? I do appreciate it. There's a line open, 888-7753-773. Let me go to first-time caller, Ernesto. Right, Raisha? Ernesto, first-time caller out of New York. Ernesto, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
First-time caller, recent viewer. I've been doing the silent prayer every day, every night. Trying to keep on staying present, staying in the moment, and paying attention to just watching the thoughts and not reacting to the thoughts. And I've been going through some situations with my daughter. She's only about 16, 17. She just recently moved out. And I've been trying my hardest to pull every trick in the book to try to get her home because I feel that she's not capable and she's not, old enough to be out on her own at such a young age, and the world is so rough and, the typical father stuff.
Right.
But, and I've been struggling with that. But doing the silent prayer, I noticed it's kind of weird because I love my daughter, obviously. I love my family. But doing the silent prayer, I kind of noticed that me trying to force her home and force her to stay, force her to do what I want her to do, which is be home and be under my house, is not really love. It's more or less hate. Because if I loved her, I guess I would let her do what she feels is best, which is what she's doing now, moving out and trying to do it on her own, even though I feel that she's way too young to do so. I really don't have the power to just force her to stay home. So, I'm starting to realize that I need to break that bond of control and let her kind of grow up and do what she needs to do. And that's more, unless I'm wrong, I think I feel that letting her go is love and not forcing her to stay, which I was doing originally, is more or less hate. And I'm just trying to see if I'm on the right track to make sure I'm not making a mistake on judgment.
And so,
if that makes any sense.
So does her mother live with you guys too?
Her mother lives with me, yeah.
Oh, okay. Why does she hate you so much?
Oh, my daughter?
Yeah.
She's very resentful. I personally wouldn't say she hates me.
You said she's resentful, right?
Well, it seems like it.
And so,
like I don't know. I don't know why.
Is it resentment, hate?
I guess it's hate. It's like you said, it's definitely not love.
So if it's not love, it's what?
It would be hate.
And so why does she hate you?
To be honest, I don't know.
Why haven't you asked her that?
It feels a little, I don't know. It feels a little weird for me to ask my daughter why she hates me.
Why would that feel weird? Why do you hate me? What have I done that makes you hate me, that you rebel like this?
Well, the only thing, as I'm talking to you, a lot of things are hitting me. The only thing I can think of, because I know you constantly, you're always saying that we're always searching for a father's love, right?
Right.
We're always looking for a father's love.
Absolutely.
Now my daughter that we're talking about and speaking is my stepdaughter.
Oh.
I've been raising her my entire life as my daughter because she's my daughter. I've taken that role as her father.
But she's not your daughter.
But she's not my daughter.
Right. Taking
So
a
I'm
role
kinda-
doesn't make her your daughter.
I understand. I'm kind of thinking maybe she's resentful for the love she's looking for her original biological father.
So why have you asked her about that? Because you're right. She's yearning for her real father.
I don't know. To be honest, the only reason I didn't ask her is because it literally just came into my head as I'm speaking to you.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Like as I was talking to you, it kind of just, like one of those flashes.
Yeah. She's yearning for her real father. Why did you marry her mother knowing that she already had? How many kids her mother already had before you married her?
2.
She had 2 kids?
I know, Jesse. I know.
What the?
I know, Jesse. What the?
Why'd you marry a woman with 2 kids?
Well,
not even 1 kid, but especially 2.
Well, when I fell in love with her, I was 17 years old. And
is she older than you?
Not much older than me. She's about a year older than me.
Is she older than you?
She's older than me, yes.
And was
she's not my mother, but she's not my mama, Jesse.
And was she married before or something?
She wasn't married before, but she was obviously with someone before because she had a kid.
She had 2 kids.
2 kids.
And you fell in sex with her, you say?
No, I didn't say that. I said I fell in love with her.
You fell in sex. And you call sex love, and as a result of being into sex, you missed all the clues along the road, son. That was telling you this is not your wife. Don't marry this one. Because you were in sex, you were missing the clues of not to do it.
Because I was in sex.
Yeah, and you would call it a love, and that's why you didn't pay any attention to the signs that you should not be with this woman.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that. I can understand that. I understand that part. I can get that.
And I guarantee you, her mother has turned her against you too.
How would she be doing? I don't think she does that. I doubt it. How would she do that?
That's not your father. That's not your father. He mean well. Listen to him.
No. She would never do that. The one thing I would say is she would never do that. We have a family unit where I'm the head. So,
if you were the head, the girl would not have rebelled against you, even though she's yearning for her father. You and the girl would have been open about, even growing up, about, I'm not your real father. You want your real dad. I understand that, and blah, blah, blah. You can't even have a real conversation with your stepmother.
No. I wouldn't say that because we talk. We didn't have that particular conversation on why are you mad?
Oh, okay.
Why you hate me? Because like I said, Jesse, I'm a first time caller, but I'm just now watching your videos, and I'm just now waking up and coming to life.
I understand.
I've been in a fallen state for quite some time, and I started out in a fallen. I've been in a fallen state, so I'm waking up.
We all are. Everyone who is born of the woman are born into a fallen state. There's not one that's not. That's why God said we must be born again of the Father, or return to the Father. Why did you marry a woman that was older than you?
Well, when I was young, I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Because you fell in sex.
To be honest, I guess I fell in sex.
Does she obey you?
Yeah.
Is she black?
No.
Are you black?
Yes.
So you married to a white woman?
Yes.
What the?
Jesse, you killing me, Jesse.
And so it's a child, white or black?
No, the child's black.
So this woman you married already had children with another black man?
Yeah.
And you still married her?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Sats calling it love.
Mm.
But here's what I recommend as far as the daughter. Let her go. Wish her well. Don't try to force her back. Don't beg her back. You've already told her she can come home. She's too young to be out there on her own. Then
Well, that's pretty much, not to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no problem.
But
Go ahead.
that's pretty much exactly what I'm doing, because I kind of noticed the more that I try to force her to stay home and
Yeah.
bear my will on her. Listen to your dad. I know what's best. You should do this. You should do that. That's not really love. That's
Right.
hate. I figure I have to do the opposite.
If
which
you
is to
love
let
her,
go.
you let her go.
If I love her, I let her go.
Yeah.
Let her, like you say, let her go. Wish her well. And if something happens, it's the Lord's will, and whatever happens has to happen. It just has to be what it is.
Well, it's not the Lord's will, it's Satan's will. God love her, but he'll let her live in her hell until she's ready to come out of it. But she's in hell with Satan right now. And so she's following the will of evil and not of good. Did her mother tell her to come back home?
Yeah.
And she won't listen to her mother either?
No, it's a struggle. She came back home for a little bit, and then she left again.
Well, ask her why she hates her mother so much.
I would definitely do that.
Because she hates her mother, too. If she's not even listening to her mother has willed her and recreated her image. She's rebelling against the mother as well. And you haven't protected her from the mother. Why didn't you protect her from her mother? You say you love her.
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I've been protecting her from everything.
How did you protect her from her mother?
By being a father.
By being. What do you mean by that?
By being her father, doing what a father does.
So where her mother would be
responsibilities, safety, encouragement, protection, everything.
So where her mother would be irritating her as a kid, you would tell the mother to back off?
I've never seen her mother irritate her as a kid.
So you never told the mother to back off when you would see that the daughter was angry at the mother. Did you ask the daughter why you're angry at your mother?
To be honest, I've never seen my daughter react in a anger way towards her mother where I had to be like, what's going on? It's always there's always been a peaceful, calm, great relationship.
And that's not great, because if it were great, she
Well,
wouldn't be.
Well, I didn't. No, I understand. Not great, but it's
Right.
always been a copacetic, it's a rather productive relationship between mother and daughter.
How would you deal with it when it wasn't as copacetic?
Let me see. I would say typical fathering. I would talk to her. We would talk. We're not necessarily with corporal punishment stuff like that. We would talk to the door, try to discuss, what's going on with her, and try to, figure out what the situation is.
Meaning that you would tell her, don't be mad at your mother. Your mother's crazy. She can't help it. Don't be angry, because you're going to end up like her. You would tell her things like that?
No, I wouldn't say things like that.
Why not?
So hold on. Hold on. Maybe I'm confused. What was the question again, Jesse? Say it one more time.
When things were not as copacetic with the daughter and the mother, would you help the daughter deal with the mother then in those moments?
When things were not as copacetic between the daughter and the mother,
Right.
Would I help the daughter
deal with the mother?
Deal with the mother. I would talk to my daughter. I probably wouldn't use the words you used, like saying like, you know, don't be like your mother. You're gonna turn into your mother. Stuff like that.
Why not? You probably what?
Why not?
No, you probably what?
Say, I would probably be like, you know, what are you guys arguing about? You know, and it, you know, kind of diffuse the situation.
Oh, but it would have worked out much better for the daughter if you had said, you know what, your mother's wrong for imposing on you like this. Don't be angry at her. You don't want to become like her. And the daughter would have known she had the father fighting for her, protecting her from the mother.
You might be right about that, Jesse.
And then you guys would be closer. And so when she turns 16 and she's ready to leave, at least you will have a clear understanding of why. And plus, he might not would have gone away at 16 had she known she had someone to help her deal with her mother.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little confusing because I try not to, you know, use too much feeling and use logic, but I feel like I've been, you know, being the best father representation and doing the best I can do to be present, be there, you know, and be involved, so that way this wouldn't happen.
I can understand that, but you could be present, but if not, standing between the children and the mother will still destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is imposing her angry will upon them, and she's turning them away from innocence to evil in the same way that she is. Because the kids resent it when the mother imposed on them like that. Because it's all evil.
Okay.
But you know, I understand that you didn't see it because you're in that father's state. You just didn't understand. So I encourage you to start right now. Forget about yesterday. Don't think about tomorrow. And start doing the silent prayer. And start right now. Life begins right now. There is no past and no future. So don't judge yourself. But allow your eyes to be open and it'll be amazing. Everything will still work out.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that.
Have you forgiven your mother?
That's my next step. I listen to you all the time, and I know that's the first thing you got to do is to forgive your mother, so that way you can work your way back to the father,
right?
And then forgive your father, so that way you don't resent him, and it brings you closer back to the heavenly Father. 'Cause you can't love your heavenly Father if you do not love your earthly father. So my next first step is, the problem with me is that I never noticed anything for me to have to forgive my mother for doing. But then I think to myself, like you say, was your mother perfect? And I say, no, my mother wasn't perfect. Well, then if she wasn't perfect, then you got to go forgive her for whatever she's done that didn't make her perfect.
Right. Because I didn't know that either. I didn't know I resented my mother until I asked God to because I was sick of my hell, right, living in my hell. And I asked God to let me see what was wrong. I was going to church, I was going to Bible, I would volunteer, but I still had this hell in me, the misery. And I finally asked God to let me see myself. What's wrong? What am I not seeing about myself? We're supposed to know ourselves. And he allowed me to see that I resented my mother. And I didn't know. I thought I loved my mother. I thought my mother was just fine. I knew she didn't like my father, but I didn't know how much that had affected me, right? And so when I saw it, I went and forgave her, shaking in my boots. But I have not had to shake since.
Okay. And I've noticed, me and my father, we haven't had the best relationship. He hasn't been around for a great majority of my childhood. On his doing, obviously I haven't done. I'm his son. I haven't done anything, but he hasn't been around. And when he was around years ago, I vividly remember forgiving him about my childhood and everything, because I always kind of knew you can't keep that on your heart. You got to forgive, so that way you can, I always knew you have to be, forgiveness is the key.
Have you ever asked him why wasn't he around? He hasn't been around?
Nah.
Why not?
Because when I was having those conversations with him, when that did happen I was a different man then than I am now.
Right.
So I think now I might have to.
Are you able to hold on, Ernesto? Hold on.
Yes.
All right,
sure,
hold on.
Sure.
Then we'll end it when I come back from the break. And I'll get to all your calls and super chats. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news. One more hour to go. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday, as you know. 29th of February, AD 2021. There is one line open. You can call in right now, guys, during Hake News, Not Fake News, if you are listening to the show live. You can podcast the show. You can just go to jlptalk.com, which is jesseleepeterson.com/show. Goes to the same place. And you can find out the podcast platforms links, direct links. Political mess, again, on McConnell. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, reported on this. Quote, I still have enough gas in my tank to thoroughly disappoint my critics, and I intend to do so with all the enthusiasm with which they're become accustomed. As Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell stated, announcing he would step down as leader of the Senate Republican Conference in November. Leader, quote-unquote, setting up a high-stakes race for his successor, the next generation of leadership. That's not a very good impression, but I tried a little bit, somewhat. Far-left Politico says, somewhat confusingly, all 3 candidates are white men named John. Minority Whip John Thune from South Dakota, former Whip John Cornyn from Texas, and GOP Conference Chair John Barrasso from Wyoming. Hadn't heard of him. And I'm not sure about any of them, honestly. IVF, also in the Senate. A Republican senator blocked an effort to protect IVF, in vitro fertilization, which means fertilization of a human mother's egg inside of glass, in glass. So this Republican senator voted against those efforts to protect it, quote-unquote, nationally, saying it violates religious freedoms. Interesting, huh? Now, demon rats in the federal government are vowing to continue trying amid the fallout from the Alabama State Supreme Court's ruling that said fertilized embryos, are developing human beings alive and they should not be killed. So the Democrats pretending to swoop in and save the wannabe mothers who waited too long to make babies. Other issues, too. Bitcoin, as JLP pronounces it, Bitcoin, CNN reports, the world's most popular currency, is nearing its all-time high of around $69,000 for one single little bitty Bitcoin. What? Set in November of 2021, that was the all-time high. The value currently stands at just under $63,000, but it's nearing that high. It is a whopping 20% up. It's up. And a whopping 20% in just 5 days, partly driven by billions of dollars flowing into the crypto industry after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, approved a Bitcoin exchange-traded funds last month. The other major factor at play is the upcoming halving of Bitcoin, cutting it in half, I guess, which reduces the rate of new coins entering circulation. Whoa. It takes place roughly every 4 years, and in theory, pushes the price of Bitcoin higher because it creates more scarcity of an already finite currency. Trump and Biden both at the border today. So-called President Joe Biden, per CNN, and our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, visit different sectors of the southern U.S. border today. Maybe already happened or maybe going to happen, according to plans. Setting up a split screen between the likely 2024 candidates for president of the United States as they spell out dueling arguments on the so-called migrant crisis, the illegal alien invasion, the hordes at the border. Biden has been on the defensive over the border for much of his term. He'll meet with U.S. Border Patrol agents in Brownsville, Texas. Trump expected to make remarks in Eagles Pass, Texas, the scene of a border showdown where authorities have seen a high number of illegal alien crossings, migrant crossings, they call it. The Commie Nonsense Network does. He's also set, Trump is, to meet with Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who's boasted about busing tens of thousands of illegals to Democrat-led sanctuary cities over the past 2 years. Sanctuary cities, sanctuary for illegal aliens to stay. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Hour 3.
To stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour already today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week: what is hell? What is hell? Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about doing whatever you're doing and you can't watch the show live, you can listen to it on your phone, your iPad or your iPhone while doing what you're doing anywhere in the world by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us on social media. Like, ring the bell, hit the button or whatever. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and Cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy, where Christ is King. Cozy.tv/JLP. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. It's Thursday. It's the last hour of Thursday show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't feel your faith. Are you ready?
Are you ready? Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Amazing. Nice. I want to go quickly back to Ernesto, a first-time caller out of New York. I had to put him on hold there. Ernesto stepdaughter, 16, left home, and he was concerned about her. Now he realized, I think, that he has to let her go. He can't make her come back. Ernesto,
Yeah.
how do you feel about this girl being gone?
I don't really feel much about it now.
Beforehand.
Before it used to hurt me. Before it bothered me.
Oh, okay.
It bothered me because I was worried, I was fearful, but I do the silent prayer. I bring it within, and I try to stay focused, and I let those thoughts just fly by me.
Yeah.
So lately, I've just been letting it just let it be.
And the reason I ask, because those feelings that you were feeling before you heard of me, or that your thoughts are lie, were never about the girl. It was always about you. You were feeling that, and then lying to yourself with the devil lying to you, telling you that it's about her. Oh, you love her. You care about her. You worried about her. It was all about you, because if you truly loved her and she left, you would say, hey, daughter, you don't have to leave. Stay home. But if she decided to leave, you wouldn't feel anything about it, because that's on her, and it has nothing to do with you. But the feeling was all about you. I've been a good dad. I provided. I did this. I did that. I was there. And now you're going to leave, and you're going to be out there. You're going to get hurt. It's all about you. And it's the fake you. It's not even the real you. It's all ego. And when you see those things happening inside of your mind and body, that is what it means to die. Just look at it, stay aware of it, and God will destroy that old nature, which is not yours, but is of evil.
Yeah, I've noticed the more I stay focused on watching the thoughts pass by, the easier it is for me to just not react to anything.
Yes.
Just like I said, when I focus, when I feel the thought coming, and I visualize and I see it float away, the more I do that, it's easy for me to not react to anything, and then that it sort of kills the anger in me.
Absolutely, because those are dark spirits. Absolutely, those are dark spirits that made a home in you when your mother traumatized you, when she turned you away from your father and recreated her image. And that's what your daughter is feeling about her mother. She's yearning for her father, and she resents her mother. And she might not even realize it, that she's looking for a father's love, but all she's going to do is end up getting screwed. She's never going to find love until she forgives.
That makes sense.
And so if you do have a conversation with her, and if she's willing to talk, don't force it. Just say, you know what, I'm sorry that a lot of things I didn't realize that I realize now. I understand, and sorry I didn't see them then, but don't be angry. Whatever words come, don't plan all the words. They'll come, but work on yourself right now. Forgive your mother. Have no expectation from her, especially don't expect her to admit she's wrong. If she cries, let her cry, and don't you fall for the tears. If she try to blame your daddy or blame you or somebody else, don't fall for that. You just say, Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you, or whatever. I realize you can't help it. And God will forgive you. Human beings don't forgive. Only God can forgive when we admit that we were wrong for being angry. And have a talk with your father, see why he hasn't been around or what happened with him, and forgive him. And I'm telling you, stay on it. If you stay with the prayer, and like you said, you're not feeling that way, you're starting to overcome those feelings, you're going to find yourself, without even trying, not overreacting to anyone or any situation.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Any other questions or anything before I leave?
I don't have any questions. I just want to say that you're a great man, Jesse. You're doing some great work. I started watching the older videos that you've been doing way back in the day to the present day, and I just want to say that you're a fantastic human being, and you're doing a great, great thing. And I hope I hope everybody, black, white, and other, take the time out to open their ears and stop listening to the devil and pay attention to what Jesse has to say, because he can help a lot of people.
And so will you. The light of God will work through you, too, to do the same. Just like the lie worked through people, which is of evil, the light of God will work through you. And without even thinking about it or trying, you're going to influence people back to the light as well. And most people are not going to want the light. They love their hell. They love their misery. They love their envy. They love their jealousy. They love their gossiping. Gossiping. They love their misery. So leave them in their hell. Wish them well. Just like God does. He leaves them in their misery. And you just stay on that straight and narrow path. It's going to blow your mind.
All right, I will do.
All right. Let me know, man. Give me a call. Let me know how things are going.
I will. Thanks again, Jason.
You're welcome, man.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Bye. 888-7753-773. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. Let me just do this at least, because it is Bible Thumper Thursday. And this is so deep. So deep. My producer tell me, okay, Jesse, if you don't get to these things, that's fine. Even though he worked very hard to put an amazing package together for the show package. A lot of time I don't get to it. This is Bible Thumper Thursday, and I just want to give you two quick scriptures, the word, and then how they relate. And then I get back to your calls and your super chats, all right? And this first scripture is, I want to point you, or for those who want it, point you to the way or how to deal with criticism. Because and I'll explain that. One thing I want you to know, you're going to get them in your head and emotion, and you're going to get them outside of you, inside of other people. Because you're still dealing with the devil one way or another. He worked through other people too, when he can't get you to overreact within yourself. And so I want to show you how to deal with criticism. This is from John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. The thief come only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they might have life and have it to the fullest. Here it says the full. Some Bible says the fullest. You are supposed to be having life to the fullest. You're not supposed to be miserable. You're not supposed to be angry. You're not supposed to be feeling insecure. You're not supposed to have jealousy and strife and revenge. You're not supposed to be lonely. You're not supposed to have suicidal thoughts. You're not supposed to deal with all these false identities. Christ came and made it possible so you don't have that, but you just don't know it yet. But be sober-minded. Be watchful. The devil prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Isn't that amazing? And so here's what that means. In your mind, in your thoughts, in your imagination, which are not your own, and emotion, the devil is prowling around, roaring around in your mind and emotion, trying to devour you, trying to destroy you. And unfortunately, with most people, he's doing it. He is pretending to have, he's like the government, he's pretending to have real power, and he doesn't, because he knows that most people are going to listen to him. Most people are going to believe it's them. Most people are going to overreact. Most people are going to allow the demons, the devil, his little demons, to destroy them. And then the devil inside of other people, because the devil lives in human beings, the devil will use them to go and try to destroy someone else. Go after that person. so you can get a thrill of feeling good, of life. That person don't have a right to be free. You go after them so you can feel good. And he will send those demons after you as well. And if you are a man or a woman that cannot be defeated by the devil because now you can see, he's going to be an army of people outside of you because he dwells in them to go after you too. But they have no power if you see what's going on in you. That's why God said through Christ, be sober-minded, be clear, be watchful. Watch those thoughts and feelings. That's all you got to do is watch them. They are not you. This is for every human being on this side of heaven. I know most don't want it, most won't, but the few that will. You're supposed to watch those thoughts and not identify with them as you. Don't call them you. They're not. Those are evil spirits. Those are that is Satan and his little demon roaring as a lion, but he's weak. He has no power, no authority. That's why he has to convince you with thoughts and feelings to act out and hurt yourself and try to hurt others. And believe me, he will build an army against you. An army of demons inside your mind and emotion, and an army of demons inside of other people. And even the Christians will go after you. Don't you worry. Not just the Bible thumper Christians, those that love Jesus and believe Jesus is God, and they just love, they'll go after you too because they just know about God, but they're worshiping the devil. Here's an example of a person that this is happening to, and as far as I can tell, he's dealing with it perfectly. Fox, Clarence Thomas, has been the subject of scrutiny from progressive reporters and pundits on numerous occasions. But do you hear Clarence Thomas whining about it, complaining, bagging down, blaming? He knows something that the average person does not know. And some people, men and women, are starting to wake up to it, and you will know too. And when they come after you, without your effort, they can't touch you. And when they can't touch you, they go and build an army. They're going to find some kind of way because they're working on behalf of evil, and they call it love. They say, I'm doing it because I love you. I'm trying to destroy you because I love you. That's another trick of the devil. Clarence Thomas is not reacting to this at all. And I happen to have met with him over the years. I'm telling you, whatever is driving Donald Trump is driving Clarence Thomas. These men are rare in today's society. CNN, former Star Trek actor George Takei called Supreme Court Justice Thomas a clown in blackface. Watch this from CNN.
He has been adored by generations of Trekkies, but today, veteran actor George Takei is getting slammed on social media over some inflammatory comments he made about Supreme Court Justice, specifically Clarence Thomas. These remarks coming in the wake of Thomas's stance on the recent Supreme Court ruling on marriage equality. Takei is gay. Justice Thomas, one of 4 dissenters in that decision.
He is a clown in blackface sitting on the Supreme Court. He gets me that angry. I'm sure. He doesn't belong there. And for him to say slaves had dignity, I mean, doesn't he know that slaves were in chain, that they were whipped on the back? This man does not belong in the Supreme Court. He is an embarrassment. He is a disgrace to America.
Amazing. And that's not that guy's speaking that. That is evil through him. It's not him. And I promise you, when you see the evil in your mind and emotion, you're going to see it in others, and you're going to know it's not them. And in knowing it's not them, it won't bother you. You just with them well. You won't fight with the devil. You don't owe the devil any explanation at all. Zero. That man, Takei, whatever his name is, Takei, George, he's miserable. While he's attacking Clarence Thomas, Justice Clarence Thomas, he's burning in fire of hell in his mind and body. He is miserable. And every human being that does that to another human, and I'm telling you this because I counsel with a lot of folks, and they're so afraid of the attacks. But just know that when people are attacking you, it's because they are miserable. They are in hell. They are burning. That's why what you do to others, you do it to yourself. You're already burning. That's why you're attacking. You're in hell. So stop taking it personal. Isn't that amazing? From the nationalpost.com, late night host attempts to bribe Black Supreme Court justices with cash. A guy by the name of John Oliver, host of Last Week Tonight, has publicly offered Clarence Thomas $1 million a year to immediately resign from his position. Watch this from Last Week Tonight.
And you deserve a break, away from the meanness of Washington, so you can be surrounded by the regular folks whose lives you've made demonstrably worse for decades now. And the good news is, I think we can help you there, because since your favourite mode of travel might be in need of an upgrade, we are excited to offer you this brand new, top-of-the-line Prevost Marathon motor coach. Look at this beauty, Clarence. So that's the offer. $1 million a year, Clarence, and a brand new condo on wheels. And all you have to do in return is sign the contract and get the off the Supreme Court.
A foreigner, right? And the interesting thing about it, hell, the people who are living in hell within themselves and on the earth, they don't want you to leave hell. Come back, Clarence Thomas. We'll give you $1 million a year. We'll give you a brand new truck, car, whatever that is, SU, RFV. Come back. Don't leave. Stay in hell with us. Don't go. Satan is like, that's right. Go and get him. Bring him back. One soul lost is too many. One person dared to leave the group is too many. Because if this one person leave hell, the group, and group thinking, that means something's wrong with us. Go get him. And Satan's trying to draw you back in your thoughts and feelings. And if that doesn't work, he'll use the demons inside of others. Go after him or her. Don't let them get away. Don't let that soul go. They're like, okay, Daddy. Daddy's Satan, God of all God. We'll go and get him. Even if you're a foreigner. It's spirits, folks. I'm telling you. Stop fighting with the devil in your mind and emotions, and stop fighting with the devil outside of you, inside of others. And the devil will have a hissy fit. And those people don't realize that that's what's happening to them. They don't realize that's what's happening. They don't know they're working on behalf of the devil. They think it's them. They think that they're their thoughts and emotions. Just like Christians think that they're saved. Just because they know the Bible. Just because they go to church and they went down to the front of the church and accepted Jesus. Now I believe I'm saved, and it's just a belief. It's just an intellectual thought. And they're not saved. They have no love. It's amazing. They have no love. I would pay attention to what's happening inside of me to understand what's happening outside of you, inside of human beings are wicked until their heart changes. And the young generation got it bad because they have not heard about good. They have not heard about a return to the Father. They truly believe that their dirty, evil nature is them. They don't know. And so I'm telling you this because it's happening to every human being, but only a few are seeking their way out. Only a handful. Most people love their misery. And if you try to leave hell, I heard this amazing story I think I'll share on Sunday about one guy took this trip with a bunch of people and he realized that he was miserable. He was in hell. And he wanted out and all hell broke loose. The group will not let you go on your own. They don't want you to leave hell. They want you in hell with them. They don't want one person to escape hell because they are working on behalf of evil. And I want to show you Justice Thomas. Does Justice Clarence Thomas seem to be worried about this? This is from Fox. Clarence Thomas ripped into his critics in the media, prompting roars of laughter from a Dallas audience. Watch this from C-SPAN.
One of the things I say in response to the media is when they talk about, or especially early on, about the way I did my job, I said, I will absolutely leave the court when I do my job as poorly as you do yours. And that was meant as a compliment, really.
See there? But you got to see the evil in you and return to the Father in order to see how to deal with evil in others. Because others are so wicked at heart, once you change, they cannot handle that light. They don't like that, And they stay up late at night and get up early in the morning to figure out how to get you. Because they're working on behalf of evil and they just don't realize it. Well, some do, most don't. Some do. Isn't that amazing? That's my producer put that together, laid it out. Bible Thumper Thursday. Amazing. Eric out of California. Been waiting a long time too. Eric, welcome to the show. Thank you for holding you on the air.
Thanks, Jesse. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Awesome, man. Hey, I talked to you once before about being in the Mormon church for as long as I was. And I guess out of many burning questions I had, one of them was, there was a quote-unquote prophet called Joseph Smith. And I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world, so I'll try to say this so you can understand it.
All right.
He took the Old Testament and corrected it, rewrote it, and that's where the Bible of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints came from. And that's something that in the Mormon church they really push. They're like, oh, Joseph Smith, 300 years ago or whatever it was, got the tablets or the biblical writings, whatever it was, and he interpreted the way that you should understand it in the Mormon church. And they came up with the book of Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. Well, in reading and listening to the audio version of the Bible every day when I go to work, I listen to it and I read it when I go home. I don't remember much of it, but in the Old Testament it says no man, and again I'm going to try to say this intelligently, no man shall change those writings or rewrite that. It's only supposed to be interpreted from the initial way it was written in the Bible. So maybe I'm wrong in the way I'm thinking, and I wanted your opinion on this. That really creates a lot of conflict in my mind as far as the Mormon religion. Is that making any sense, Jesse?
It does, and that's what happened with the Christian religion too, in that you have these preachers and others interpreting the Bible, and now you have female teachers of the Bible, and all they're doing is interpreting the Bible in their intellect, and all that that's doing is keeping you in hell. Because we're not supposed to interpret the Bible, period. It should be revealed to us. And if we don't see it for ourselves, if it's not revealed, then we should just let it go. But it's the same teaching that they use the Bible for. It's no different.
Okay, that makes sense. And isn't your intellect, so to speak, your thoughts and feelings, isn't that of Satan? Isn't that of the devil?
Your thoughts, your intellect hates God. And if you notice, all intellectual people, whether they are Christians or secular or so-called educated people, all intellectual people hate God.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
You're not supposed to hold on to the intellect. Intellectual people are evil.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're interpreting the Bible a different way out of your own intellect, that's evil.
100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know I had another...
Amazing call, Eric. Call me again, man. I appreciate you.
All right, bud. Thanks, man.
All right. Amazing. Quick break. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. Bible Thumper! Thumper. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. There's one line open. Quick announcement. Number one, the Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, Hake report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., I forgot the time, thank you, Hassan. At 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV, he black, and he is on fire. Joel Friday TV. From 11 until noon, Monday through Thursday. And at 12 noon, Monday through Thursday, the American Anchor Baby. Did y'all catch the American Anchor Baby yesterday? He talked about, and I had planned to get to that story today, he talked about some guy who set himself on fire over there in D.C. somewhere. Because he wants to say Palestine. I'm like, what the? What an idiot. Now he dead. And Palestine still ain't free. What an idiot. You know, Satan had his mind. What the? Can you imagine if the story is true, allegedly, you go out there and you want to set some other country free, and the devil say, you know what? You're right. Palestine, and he was a white man. Don't you know anything about Palestine? They don't even like him. But anyway, go set yourself on fire in D.C. so Palestine can be free. Okay, okay, Daddy. And when set himself on fire, now he dead. And Palestine going on to another day. But check out that story from the American Anchor Baby. It is interesting. I haven't even seen it, but I know about the report. My producer gave it to me. But that's what the devil do. He tell you to do stupid things. But anyway, the American Anchor Baby at 12 noon today. You can podcast all his shows, but especially that one from yesterday, you will want to see that. Let me go to Brandon out of Canada. Brandon, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
There is something. Oh.
Hey, Brandon.
Hi.
Hello? Brandon? Hold on, brother. Don't hang up. You've been waiting for a while. I'm going to let Sean check it out. Meantime, let's do Super Chats. Then we get back to the phone. Super Chats.
On buymeacoffee.com, I had started Rebecca's Coffee. Jesse, I know you, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, that is.
Oh, thank you.
Jesse, I know you speak on homeschooling. Why is this the best choice? How do I know this is right for my family? What do you do if your husband is not sure about homeschooling? I want to homeschool my children, but my husband is not sure it is the right choice for them in the long run. Asked Rebecca.
That is a decision that you and your husband need to make together, if possible. I don't know what's best for your family. I do know, without a doubt, that parents who send their children to public school hate their children. Because they're not teaching your children, any color, no matter what. They're not teaching them reading, writing, arithmetic, and to love the country, to love their parents and all that anymore. They've been brainwashed. So for that reason, for that reason, I wouldn't send them there, but it definitely is a decision that you and your husband need to make. And I don't know what it means. It's not good for them in the long run. I don't know what he mean by that or you mean about that. So if you can make that a little clearer, maybe I can respond to that. But it definitely has to be a decision made for the both of you. Otherwise, y'all going to be fighting. So I hope you work it out. Thank you. And by the way, Treasure Chest is open on D-Live.
Nice.
Yeah, but thank you.
Over on D-Live, speaking of D-Live, Aries 1. This is Jesse Lee Peterson on D-Live. Aries 1 gave a diamond, no message.
Thank you.
WD41 gave 3 diamonds, no message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby bought a Cash App saying, for you for shining the light my way.
Amazing.
And very
Thank
generous as well. Thank you.
Thank you for helping us to help others. I appreciate it.
Chalice gave a couple saying thanks.
Right on. Thank you.
Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. Terry bought a coffee. Hell, this is, I guess, in biblical.
What is hell? What is hell?
Hell is a spiritual dimension that we fall into when we turn away from God. Repent of your anger, and God will light the way to his kingdom. Praying hands emoji.
Thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Iman from the Netherlands bought 3 coffees.
The Netherlands heard around the world by everybody and their mama.
Or maybe it's I-Man. I could be butchering your name, man or woman. Hey, Jesse and the awesome crew. So funny you didn't understand what that man said. And he didn't remember. Laughing face sideways emoji. He white. By the way, he said, hey, Jesse and awesome crew, punch fist bump emoji or punching emoji.
Amazing.
But he didn't say God the Son. He read a verse where it said the begotten Son. Have a blessed day. MAGA forever. Number 4, ever. American flag emoji. Probably the Netherlands Holland flag emoji. Salute emoji.
Amazing. Thank you for all that.
Gen C bought 5 coffees. Good morning, JLP Universe. You mentioned the other day you talked with Roseanne Barr. When are we going to see or hear it?
I was just on a show day before yesterday, so I'll let you know when they're going to air it. It was pre-taped, and so I'll let you know when it'll be aired. It was an amazing discussion. It was a grown-up discussion.
Cool.
I have said over and over, all these shows online, these guys don't be talking about adult talk at all. It's difficult because I started out as an adult, It's hard for me to have these unimportant nonsense talk. It really is. And so when I get a chance to have an interview and it's a grown-up talk, I love it. Real talk. So I'll let you know as soon as we know. Thank you.
Ryan bought a coffee. Love your message, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Justin, over on Cash App, donated. No message. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Aries
Amazing.
gave a couple of diamonds. No message.
Thank you.
Greenwall bought a coffee. A pile of trash by the side of the road stinks, but a beautiful smelling lotus flower can still grow out of it. This society is becoming trash, but dazzling sons and daughters of God can still grow out of it too.
Amazing. Thank you.
Emma bought 3 coffees. Thank you, JLP and your team.
Thank you, Emma.
Emma.
Thank you.
Sion C bought a coffee. That's so true. People are miserable. Jesse, do you see it more now, or is it just me? Economy and personal life drama.
The more you wake up, the clearer you're going to see. You're going to start, if you stay with us here, you're going to start seeing the depths of evil in other people because you see it in yourself as you're overcoming it, right? And you're going to see it out there in the world. It's going to blow your mind. It's amazing to me how blind we are. We don't really see the depths of what's really going on. But you will as you're overcoming the imagination and emotions. Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors on DLive, Aries 1, WD41, Maverick Angel, Stan69, Zealous Hermit. Thank you guys for the support. Over on Rumble, Urinal Chills says Clarence Thomas has a soul and morals. He don't care about money. He cares about what's right. He has an alpha voice. They've been going after that man since the 90s. Anita Hill, I think her name is. Can't remember.
Yeah. Clarence Thomas is an alpha male. Believe me. I'm fortunate, and I count it all joy. I had a chance to meet with him a couple of times up at the Chambers there in D.C., and it was like sitting talking to a country boy that I grew up with. It was so deep. And you're absolutely right about him. It's amazing. So that's what I'm telling you. People like Clarence Thomas, Justice Clarence Thomas, and the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, keep a little space and watch. It'll blow your mind. And watch without judgment, meaning no conversation in your head with the devil about what you see. It's going to blow your mind. Amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. All right. Let me see how many calls I can get in here. 888-7753-773. Let's try Brandon again from Canada. Brandon, let's try it again. Go ahead.
Hey, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
And I'd like to answer the biblical question for today.
What is hell? What is hell?
So I realized today, like, I've heard you say before, you know, like, when you say, like, you got to leave people in their hell.
Right.
And I realized hell is just a thing that we identify with, but it's nothing. It has no power. It has nothing, and that's why the only power it has is when we decide to identify with it, when we give it power. But hell is just a thing that is in us, but that's not us. But the moment you identify with it, then it becomes you. That's why, and then I realized, like, it became clear when you said, like, you gotta just realize that it's not you, and it's never been you and never will be you. And then that's when I realized, like, hell is nothing. Like, hell is a thing that's in us, but that's not us, and it's in everybody. Everybody has the same hell because everybody identify with the devil.
Amazing. I really, really want to put my little 2 cents in, Brandon, because that's a very, very interesting response to the biblical question, but I got to wait until Sunday. But thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I can't wait for Sunday.
Amazing. Thank you, buddy.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. 888-7753-773. Very interesting response to the question. Chris out of New York. Chris, you're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. How's it going?
All is well, Chris.
So my question is, how do I speak up when overcoming, especially with my mother and others?
You do it while shaking in your boots. Let's say that. Have you forgiven your mother yet?
Yes, I have.
And are you afraid to speak up to her even now?
Yeah.
And why?
I don't know. I just feel it just, again, I'm in like my feelings and my thoughts, and it just gets like overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
How old are you?
I'm 27.
And so you get into feelings and thoughts, right? And it feel overwhelming to speak up to her?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I recommend. And if you do it, it's gonna work. Let's say you need to speak up to her. And you're into thoughts which are not your own. You're into the feelings which are not yours. Just see that you're into your thoughts and you're into your feelings, but knowing that they're not you, and speak up anyway. Why you feel the fear and you're shaking in your boots and you're in your head about what's going to happen, how will she react, you speak up anyway, I'm telling you, because it's not you. The fears and the thoughts are not you at all. You just think that you are. And if you don't do what you need to do, you're going to believe that it's you and you won't do it. And that thing, those spirits will just stay alive inside of you.
Oh, okay. And I was gonna say, so like, how do I also like do that while not judging? You know?
Yeah. So if the feeling of anger comes up while you're speaking up, don't call that you. Those are just false spirits, false identities in your body. And the devil going to say, oh, look, you mad at your mother. You hate her, right? Don't believe it. Let it pass. Just watch it and let it pass. And don't identify with it at all. And when you don't identify with anger anymore, it's impossible to hate.
Oh, okay.
It's impossible to judge.
Cool. All right. It sounds good. And I also wanted, since it's like Bible Thumping Thursday, I wanted to ask, like, I know I've been hearing scripture throughout like most of my life. So how do you know to like stick with the truth, you know, even in the midst of like Bible thumpers coming at you, or, you know, stuff like that.
So when the Bible thumpers come at you, tell them to back off. Give them the finger and tell them to back off. Don't even tolerate it for a second. And then if you've learned the scripture, let it all go. Don't hold on to it in your intellect, because it's evil if it's stuck in your intellect, and it'll make you think you know God and you really don't. Let it go, and you shall know the truth. You will be with the truth when you let the intellect die.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all my questions for today. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, brother. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, all right?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, amazing. Stephen is out of Maryland. That's one line open. Stephen, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Stephen.
This is Brian.
No, I'm sorry, Brian. Hold on, buddy. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Jesse?
All is well.
I'm going to answer that question, religious question.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I understand hell.
Oh, you talk about the biblical question. What is hell?
That's that place where you go when you die, and your spirit, your soul go there.
It's where you go
after
when
you die.
Right.
And your soul goes there after you're judged.
And where is it located?
That's what hell is.
Where is it located?
I don't know.
Amazing.
But I know That's what hell is.
Okay. I
Plenty
appreciate.
fire, plenty smoke,
Amazing.
barbecue ribs and everything.
Amazing. Well, I know a lot of blacks must be there then. If it
Oh
ribs.
yeah, we're gonna be there. There'll be a whole lot of white folks there too.
That's right. I
Nice
will.
and tender, juicy white folks.
I will put my 2 cents in on Sunday, Stephen. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right.
And the next thing about Judge Thomas.
Yes.
I know 1 million people would pay $1 every year that was sent for justice. I mean, for whatchamacallit to retire.
I know they hate him.
Him and his heifer wife. You know that big heifer he got?
Did you say heifer?
Yeah, heifer. She's not a cow because she ain't had no children.
They don't have kids?
No, they ain't got no kids.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate it. Because I'm tired, but I got to run on. Call me tomorrow. It's open line Friday, all right?
Okie dokie.
All right, thank you. I got to run. Lyndon, first time caller out of Florida. Lyndon, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it. How
Yes,
are you?
All is well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having the show. Really appreciate all your work here.
Right on.
Quick question. So, I'm 31, never been married, never had kids. And it's very confusing on knowing how to know if a woman is worth marrying. If you could give me any advice on how to vet a proper woman, it would be very helpful.
Okay, number one, don't seek a wife. You only seek the kingdom of God in His right way, and a wife will be added unto you. It'll just happen naturally, and when it happens naturally, you don't have to be spending your money trying to get her. You don't have to cater to her. You don't have to worship her. It'll just happen naturally. And then number two, when you do start dating, and if you do, your first question should be, will you obey me? And if she says no, say goodbye. Okay, bye. Because if she say no, it ain't going to work. But don't look for one for sure, Lyndon. Seek the kingdom of God, and He will add, because if you add it unto you, if it's meant to be, and if you do seek the woman first, she will be your God, and she will destroy you.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I have not. If you could enlighten me, that would be
go to rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. I want to encourage you to start doing that, so you can see the darkness inside of you. You can overcome it. And then, have you forgiven your mother?
No.
Why not?
I would say. Well, she's extremely loving and very kind, so it's very hard to do that. I feel like it will bring her pain.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
How is it possible to bring a loving and kind woman pain if she's loving and kind?
Because if I tell her I forgive her, she'll feel like she did it wrong.
But if she's loving and kind, she wouldn't feel that way. It's impossible to feel that way if you're truly loving and kind. You can't have no feeling. You'll be grateful that your son is forgiving her. When did you? I noticed that you're just like her. You're loving and kind. What did you dislike about her? What do you dislike about her?
Well, I wouldn't say I dislike anything. I realize that now, after 31 years, being too kind is a bad thing.
It's a weakness.
Yes.
How did you become like her? You notice you're just like her?
No.
You speak like her. You speak softly and kindly, and you don't want to offend. How did you become like her? Did you know you were just like her?
No.
Yep, you are.
So,
why didn't your father protect you from her?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I don't know.
Why?
I would say,
why haven't you asked him? Why didn't you protect me from my mother? I become just like her, loving and kind, and I'm weak.
well, I mean, I would just say we wasn't seen that way, because society. I'm not going to blame society, but if someone's very kind, very helpful, that's not necessarily seen as a bad thing.
But your
and
mother
it should be. I see now. But,
yeah.
So he never got in the way because he's like, hey, well, he disciplined us, I think, very well whenever we needed. Always respect elders. Always respect authority when it's due. And but he never got in the way of her.
And you know why?
Always being there.
Want me to tell you why?
Yes.
He was afraid of her.
Afraid of losing her?
Because she was giving him hell. And he didn't know how to deal with the hell in her. And she would put it on an act with you guys, pretending to be the nice, kindly one, when she really was the evil one.
So I have a question on that then. So how do I distance myself from someone then that's too kind to me? Is that the way, or how would I go about doing that without just cutting off the relationship altogether?
By overcoming it within you, and you will see perfectly how to deal with it. Are you able to call me back tomorrow, and I'll take your call as soon as you call in?
Sure. Yes.
Because I'm running out of time right now, and the show is from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, so call me tomorrow.
Okay, copy. I appreciate that, Jesse.
All
Will
right.
do.
And remind him, Sean, that I told you to call back tomorrow.
Okay, will do. I'll write that.
So
okay.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time and 9 to noon Eastern time.
Correct. All right, Jesse, I'll definitely call you within that time.
All right, buddy.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye now. I'm out of time, folks. I'm sorry I called. I won't try to get into as many as possible, but I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. The Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. The Hake Report is coming now, though. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com. Listen, folks, all human beings, no matter the color, the problem is spiritual. It has nothing to do with the physical. You've been lied to. You got to be unlearned and then retaught by the Spirit of the Father. And he will, if you let the ideas and thoughts and feelings go. Get to know yourself. Get on that straight and narrow path. Forgive. Forgive. And you will be forgiven. Forgive your mama. Every human being must forgive their mothers and fathers. Most people don't know about the mother, but forgive the mama. The mama is evil. She didn't mean it, but she's evil. Her mama did it to her. I'll be back tomorrow. Do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer.video. No, that's wrong. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. What the? Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. The Hake Report coming up now, Joel Friday at 11 a.m. Joel Friday TV. Right after the Hake and right after the Joel Friday TV, the American Anchor Baby. Amazing. Brian out of Florida. Roy, first time call out of New Hampshire. David out of Florida. And the other caller just dropped. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one. Thanks for your support too. Super chats and donation and all that. Take care, folks. Bible Thumper Thursday. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Like my cousin, sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that, he showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. Just because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us and all is well.